week ago, this was the caution that Denny Hamlin needed to win the race at Richmond. Fast pit stop, got the lead, dominated from here. A week later, now there's a race that he was leading, lost control through the green flag pit stops, and now here he is running fourth. With the caution comes out, what would you have done on top of the pit box?
It's a tough call. I really thought that more cars would come for tires. Sitting where he is, I think you've got to think your way through that as to, where are you? They've got wins. Can they win from there? I mean, I think this whole conversation happens there. It's a different ball game depending on your situation.
I think Martinsville is very difficult because in the fall it's the playoff race, and there'll be so many different agendas. The spring and the fall race very differently. But let's listen into the radio. There's some good conversation between Chris Gabehart and Denny Hamlin. First, the drive of the 11 and where he needs to be to win the race.
Say if I could restart 6, that'd be the only shot I've got. If I had tires, probably 5th or better, to be honest.
So you hear Denny there. He thinks 6th. On new tires, then he kind of backs up and he says, well, maybe 5th because he wants to be on the inside. So he knows that if they take tires and end up 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th in 2 laps, he doesn't have enough time.
Yeah, and that's crazy because this is 100 laps into tires, but that's where they were in this situation and understanding what was going on here. I love that conversation back and forth. And then Chris Gabehart actually responds to this and kind of lays more of it out.
What do you think about front row or pit? If one car pits in front of you, we're staying out.
So I like both of these decisions. First, Gabehart is thinking, hey, if we can start in the front row, I'll risk being on old tires. Then he thinks about it for another lap or so under caution. He says, actually, we are 4th. If we can have one car pit in front of us, that means we are 3rd. That means on the choose, we will either have the outside of row 1 or the inside of row 2. He likes either of those positions for the chance to win the race. If not, come to pit road. Now, we know Denny comes all by himself. That is the gamble I think they took. That's the gamble that went wrong. I like the idea. They were thinking if we pit, everybody behind us, just like they were watching the cars in front of them, everybody behind them would follow them to pit road.
That's my anticipation as well. At some point, somebody peels off, and that starts the whole cycle. They just didn't happen. The fire-off speed on these tires is a little different. Racing here has become a little of a different situation, and end up burying them back to, what, 10th?
Yeah, I mean, he's easy to pick on now that he starts on the outside of the final restart. In the end, I don't think it really matters. They were basically, the day was over when they were basically alone on pit road.
Chris Gabehart made a comment afterwards. He said, if you can tell me what everybody behind me is going to do, I'm going to make the best call every time. But you don't know. The gamble was we can't win from 4th. They've made that decision. They had that conversation. The opportunity they had was if we come to pit road, maybe we drag everybody down and we get to restart 5th or 6th. And at that point, they've got a fighting chance to win.